Hey everybody, this is Larry. This is the last day of, oh wait, no, is it? Hey, I'm now no longer Snorlax because it's really hot. I guess it's the first day of the November Leetcode Day Challenge, but it's still Halloween where I am, so I'm Snorlax. So Snorlax. You're just joining us. Yeah, we will do this all week or a month or whatever. Look at my paws. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Join me on Discord. Come hang out, chat problems, share solutions, read other people's solutions, and so forth. We're gonna be doing this for as long as I can, or as long as it makes sense. We'll see. Anyway, today's problem is surrounded regions. So given M by N, capture all regions that are 4 directionally surrounded by X. Okay. So for these problems, one thing that I would say is, the first thing I would do is think about, okay, they tell you to find something, right? See if you can find the opposite of that easier and then negate it, right? In this case, that was one of I have 2 really quick instances, and these kind of comes when you do a lot of practice. You go, oh, can I do this? Well, then the follow-ups, can I do this other thing, right? And which one? And then you figure out which one is easier to code. So it's actually not that hard per se. You have to be really careful to kind of do this. But I think for me, my second immediate thought, like the first thought is just do what they tell you to do. And then the second one is, okay, can I do the opposite of that, right? And what's the opposite of that? The opposite of that is finding the regions that are not captured, right? And then my thought right after that is, okay, what does that mean? That means that if a circle or O or whatever is on the border, then it's good, and then everything that's next to it is also not captured, right? So that's based on that premise. I could build that and then keep the ones that are quote unquote good, and then remove all the other ones. I think for me that's a little bit easier with respect to maybe it's the same. Maybe we could do some like union finey thing, but for me that seems like a reasonable approach as well. And then it just becomes, especially when you're in a contest or some time sensitive thing, of okay, which one would be easier to implement with respect to fewer edge cases, fewer silly mistakes depending on who you are, and just maybe even shorter to write or easier to implement, right? Those things are all factored in. So okay, so I am going to do the second thing maybe. Yeah, okay. And so let's get started. And this is just a regular FUD fill as a result, because after we changed it, we don't have to do anything weird. It's just a FUD fill, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. And the way that we're going to implement it, or I'm going to implement it, is recursively, though you can also do it with breadth first search. But I think we recently had a problem with breadth first search, so I'll do it with depth first search. Did we? Don't remember. Maybe that was a contest, actually. But yeah, what the hell? Let's do it with breadth first search this time. Because I think I usually do with depth first search anyway. So yeah. So we start with a deck, and then now we look up on the border to kind of start on the circles, right? So yeah. So for x okay, let's actually also set up the rows and columns. So I know people use M's and N's or the other way around, but I just use R and C because it's or R and R, which is stupider, but no, R and C is fine. And yeah, we want to make sure that it cannot be 0, otherwise you have to add an if statement for this. But yeah, and then now we just do rows and columns, because it just, for me, it's just harder to get confused for me. You should come up with your own notations, of course. So if void of xy is equal to is it big O or 0? That's a 0, right? Oh no, that's an O. Okay. Then we append xy, and then now there are a couple of ways you can do this. In terms of, like, you could have a Boolean matrix of things that you've seen that are quote unquote good or not surrounded. We can do a couple of ways. I don't know. The way that I'm gonna play around with maybe this time is by using the existing space and modifying in place. So yeah, so let's play around with that. So and this is just standard breadth first search at this point. XY is you go to q.pop left, and yeah. Oh yeah, directions. I forgot to set it up. So we set up the directions. This is just for I think I did do something like this recently, right? Because I think I entered this incorrectly one time. I need to be more consistent about it. I used to be really good at that, but maybe not recently. Maybe just a little bit sloppy. I don't know. Right. So now this is just standard bounds checking and stuff like that. Okay. Actually, what we want to do is when we so we're gonna, instead of having a Boolean array, I'm just gonna do something hacky just to show you an example of something that you can do. But you know, I'm just like G for good. And now when we want to put something on the queue, we also again do this, and also board of XY is equal to good. But of course, this we only do this if it is oh, right. And then that's mostly it. And then now we do two pass through the system. So now after this buffer, so everything should be good. Then we want to convert the existing O's to X's. Oh, by the way. And we want to convert existing G's to O. I was going to do this in two passes, to be honest, or two different loops, but I think this should be okay because we do it in this order. Yeah. And then we don't have to return because it's in place. So I think this should be good. Maybe roughly. Huh, that's useless. Okay, I have the wrong answer though. I'm just returning the output. That is interesting. Oh, whoops. I keep really sloppy here, but yeah, should be okay now. Maybe. Okay, still no. Dun dun dun. So I'm just returning the output, or didn't get updated. Why is that? Huh, that's interesting. Okay, let's print it out real quick just to see if we get the G's and if it's the bug is in here or before, right? And here we do see that the bug is in before because we do convert all of them to G's. Oh, I messed up. This code is just wrong, right? I think I just got too used to doing something like this, but I did say it in English that we only want we want to start off only the ones in the border, right? So in this obviously isn't on the border. So yeah, so we actually want something like this. Yeah, so we have something like this on the border. This is a little bit yucky, but it's fine, I suppose. So this is the yeah, and this is C minus 1. I guess we could have done something like for y in 0 C minus 1. And then I could have done what I had before, right? And then we do the same thing again. Maybe there's a cleaner way of doing this, but right, okay. Now we only enqueue the stuff on the border. Even though I think I said the English correct, but I think I was just too used to writing my loops that I forgot. Well, I don't know. Sometimes muscle memories get in the way. So this looks good. Let's put in a few more test cases, like this one. I don't know. I think these are, and maybe the vertical one, just in case. Though I don't know if these things are terrible. I mean, my inputs, my test cases are terrible. They're not really that example, but oh, whoops. Oops, how does that mean? But also, these test cases are terrible. You should play more edge cases, but the edge cases are more two-dimensional, so I am a little bit lazy about it today. I'm mostly confident as well, but yeah, today got 580 day streak. Yay! Yeah, I think that's all I have. What is the complexity? Well, this is just breadth first search, so it's going to have all times C space and time. The space comes from the queue, and also technically we do, even though we manipulate board. So yeah, and the time is that we look at each cell once ish, right? Or all of one anyway. So that's going to be all of our times C times and space. That's all I have for today. Welcome to the beginning of the month. Let me know what you think. Hope y'all doing well. Let's do the rest of the month together. Stay good, stay healthy, to good mental health. Happy Halloween if you're still in Halloween. If not, just enjoy it. I'll see you later and have a great month. Bye bye.